Close your eyes. Imagine an island where towers kissed the clouds, canals shimmered like liquid silver, temples pulsed with celestial light, a civilization so advanced they harnessed geothermal vents for power, engineered crops that never failed, charted stars no human had named. Then, in one night, gone, swallowed by the sea, erased by gods, forgotten by time. We call it Atlantis, a myth, a metaphor, a bedtime story for philosophers. But what if it wasn't? What if Plato didn't invent it, but inherited it from priests, from survivors, from stones that still whisper beneath the waves? This isn't a search for a place, it's a search for a warning, etched in salt, written in ruin, sung by the tide. Atlantis wasn't lost, it was silenced. It began, not with fantasy, but with a funeral. 360 BCE Athens. An old man named Critias lies dying. With his last breaths, he tells his student Plato a story, passed down from his grandfather, who heard it from a poet, who learned it from Egyptian priests in Sai. 9,000 years ago, they said, beyond the pillars of Hercules, rose a mighty island, rich in ore, blessed with springs, ruled by kings descended from Poseidon himself. Plato didn't write fiction. He wrote philosophy, allegory, truth wrapped in symbol. So why describe coordinates, minerals, temple dimensions? Why say you can still see the mud shoals where it sank? Because he wasn't inventing. He was translating a memory, a trauma, a truth too heavy for his age to carry. Atlantis wasn't a myth. It was a message in a bottle, tossed across 10 millennia. Fast forward 2,300 years, 1967. Archaeologist Spiridon Marinatos brushes ash from a fresco in Akrotiri and freezes. Dolphins leaping, children boxing, blue monkeys swinging through saffron fields. A city frozen, not by war, by fire, by sky. 1,600 BCE. Thera erupts, one of the largest volcanic events in human history. Tsunamis 50 feet high obliterate Crete. Ash blots out the sun for years. Civilizations collapse. Sound familiar? Plato said Atlantis fell in a single day and night of misfortune. He said it lay beyond the pillars, which Greeks considered the Strait of Gibraltar. But Minoans, their pillars were the Straits of Sicily. He said survivors fled east, to Egypt. And guess who rebuilt Minoan-style palaces in the Nile Delta after 1600 BCE? Coincidence or confession? Santorini isn't like Atlantis. It is Atlantis. Misdated, mislocated, mythologized. The greatest cover-up in history wasn't hiding a city, it was hiding a catastrophe. But here's what Plato didn't tell you. Atlantis wasn't alone. In India, stories of Kumari Kandam, the sunken Tamil continent. In Japan, Yonaguni Monument, terraced stone structures 100 feet underwater. In Cuba, sonar scans revealing geometric roads off Guanahacabibe's peninsula. In Doggerland, now beneath the North Sea, a Mesolithic paradise drowned 8,000 years ago. Every coast, every culture, every catastrophe. The same story. We had greatness. We angered the gods. The sea took it all. Why? Because humanity didn't forget Atlantis. It remembered. Every time the waves rose, every flood became a funeral, every tsunami, a tombstone. Atlantis isn't a place. It's a pattern, written in water, repeated in fear, and we're still living it. Then, in 2018, science flinched. A team from Stanford scanned the seafloor near the Azores, right where Plato placed Atlantis. What they found? Not ruins, not gold, geology, a massive, perfectly circular plateau, 300 miles wide, surrounded by trenches, crowned by volcanic peaks. Exactly as Plato described. Core samples show layers of freshwater algae, under saltwater deposits, meaning this plateau was once above water, green, livable, until tectonic rage tore it apart. Date the collapse? Roughly 12,000 years ago. Plato's timeline? 9,000 years before Solon, roughly 11,500 years ago. Error margin? Less than 5%. For a story told 2,400 years ago? That's not myth. That's memory, carved in stone, preserved in sediment, whispered by the deep. So why don't we teach this? Why do universities scoff? Documentaries dismiss? Because Atlantis isn't just a place, it's a mirror showing civilizations that soared, then shattered, technologies that dazzled, then doomed, arrogance that built towers, then drowned them. Plato didn't write to entertain, he wrote to warn. Athens, you're becoming like them, greedy, violent, blind. And we're worse, melting ice caps, drowning coasts, ignoring omens, building towers while the tide rises. They buried Atlantis not beneath waves, but beneath skepticism. Because if Atlantis was real, then its fate is ours. And that terrifies us more than any myth. But here's the secret the priests knew, and Plato hid, and the sea kept. Atlantis didn't die, it scattered. Survivors sailed to Egypt, bringing geometry, astronomy, pyramid building. To Mesopotamia, seeding ziggurats, flood myths, star charts. To the Indus Valley, gifting grid cities, sewage systems, peace. Even to Peru, where engineers moved mountains, just like Atlanteans moved Earth. You think Stonehenge is British? Its bluestones came from Wales, moved by people who knew how to command stone, just like Atlanteans. Atlantis isn't gone, it's in your math, your myths, your monuments, in every child who stares at the sea and wonders what lies beneath. You are not searching for Atlantis, you are remembering it. They tried to erase it again and again and again, but the sea remembers, the stones remember, the stories remember. Tonight, walk to the shore, kneel, press your palm to the wet sand, close your eyes. Do you feel it? The pulse, the pull, the whisper? That's not the tide. That's Atlantis saying, I was real. I am real. I will be real again. Not as a city, but as a lesson, carved in coral, sung by whales, written in every wave that kisses the land, then retreats. Atlantis wasn't lost. It became prophecy. Plato ended his tale with a challenge. Search for it. Learn from it. Become better than they were. So search, not with ships, not with sonar, with choices. Plant forests instead of towers. Share knowledge instead of hoarding it. Worship wonder instead of wealth. Atlantis fell because it forgot humility. You still have time to remember. The next Atlantis won't sink beneath waves. It'll drown in data, in distraction, in denial. So look up, look down, look within. The greatest ruins aren't underwater. They're unlearned. Build wisely, love deeply, listen to the whispers. Atlantis is waiting, not to be found, but to be repeated or redeemed.